It's time to make it. Just give it a try. 'Cause you can make it like the old fat guy.
Welcome to another episode of You Can Make It with David Farrell, the old fat guy. Today, I'm going to make smoked cheese. Smoked cheese is really easy to do and turns a plain cheese into something quite special. We'll start off with some wine taken internally. And then let's talk about what kind of cheese we should smoke. The most important thing is that it be semi-firm or firm. You can't really smoke a cheese like a brie or a camembert or a soft crumbly goat cheese well, because it won't sit on the grill. It'll tend to melt quicker and it just doesn't work out. So you want to go to the harder cheeses. Cheddars, Colby, Jack, Gruyere, Edam. They're all good choices. Something that's got some firmness and hardness to it just does better in a smoker. Now, you don't need a smoker. If you have a barbecue or any other kind of container with fairly good airflow and you have a smoke generator, you can make smoked cheese. But I'll show you the different kinds of smoke generators that I have in a second. For today, I've chosen some sharp cheddar and some pepper jack cheese to smoke. I like to cut it into sizes that I will be likely to use. So just cut it into what you'd like to have for a usable cheese for when you serve it. And it also makes it a bit smaller to let the smoke get through the cheese quicker. So we'll just cut this up into 4 pieces. And the same for our pepper jack. And I'll just take those pieces out to the smoker and I'll show you how we use a smoke generator and a regular barbecue grill to smoke cheese. See you in a minute. We're outside now at just my regular barbecue. I have a smoker, but I'm just using the regular barbecue because I want you to see that you can smoke cheese just in any kind of vessel or container as long as it's got airflow, and you can use your barbecue as opposed to a smoker. But you need a smoke generator. And what I have here is something called the Amazing Pellet Smoker. The Amazing Pellet Smoker is just a series of channels that you put pellets into, light them up, and they slowly smolder around and apply smoke to your product. Another example of a smoke generator is an Amazing Tube Smoker. You fill this with pellets and you light it up and it does the same thing. The difference between the two are that the tube smoker generates more heat and more smoke. So you can smoke less time with this, but it will get hotter. This generates less smoke per minute, but stays cooler. Why is that important? Well, you see, you don't want the interior of your chamber to get higher than 80 degrees Fahrenheit, because if you do, the cheese will melt and drip down and make a horrible mess. So if it's a really cold day, you can use the tube smoker and smoke for a shorter period of time. 2 to 3 hours I find is good. If it's a warmer day, today is around 14 degrees Celsius or around sort of 58 or 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So I want to use something that will generate less heat so I don't get it too hot in the chamber. So what you do is you fill the generator, in this case the Amazing Pellet Smoker, with pellets. Now these pellets cannot be home heating pellets. They got to be pellets made specifically for barbecue, made out of hardwood with no additives. So make sure you get barbecue pellets for a pellet grill or for smoking, not home heating pellets. And then all you do is take a propane torch and fire it up and light one end. You want to keep the torch on it for about a minute. So the torch has been on it for a minute, as you can see, and there's a flame coming up. You want to let that burn for about another minute, and every time the flame gets a little low, I like to give a little blow and get the flame up again for that 1 minute. I'll do that a couple of more times through this first minute. Okay, I've blown the flame up a couple times over a minute. You see the flame's now gone out, but there is a nice smoke coming off of it. Now, although the Amazing Pellet Smoker doesn't generate a lot of heat, it does get quite warm right around where the pellets are burning. So I like to put it right over at one side and put my cheese quite far away from it. Try and get it so the wind's blowing the smoke towards the cheese, but keep the cheese at least a couple of inches from the Amazing Pellet Smoker. And then we'll just put the cheese on the smoker. Now, I'll just close this up and we'll let it smoke for about 3 to 4 hours. And then we'll take it inside and seal it up. See you in a little while. The cheese has been in with the smoke for about 3 hours. Like I say, you can go up to 4, but I suggest you start at 3 because mildly smoked cheese is way better than over-smoked cheese. So try it at 3 and increase times over future batches to find out just how you like it. But the cheese is well smoked now. Going to have just a touch of smoke just the way I like it. And I'm going to take it inside and put it in some Ziploc bags for storage. See you in a minute. So I've brought the cheese inside, and as you can see, it's gotten a darker color over the surface of it, and a little shiny. That's from the long smoking period. Now, the problem is that you have to age this cheese. If you ate it right now, the surface would be really strong smoke flavor, so almost an ashtray-like. Whereas if you let it sit for a few weeks, the smoke works its way through the cheese and gives it a nice mellow flavor throughout, which is what you want. Some people eat it as soon as 2 weeks, but I find it needs at least 4, and it's really good after 8. So I suggest you wait 4 weeks before trying it. Now the problem with cheese is it will go moldy. So I have wrapped it in cellophane and then put it in plastic resealable bags and put it in the fridge, and it's been okay, but it does a lot better if you use a vacuum sealer. If you put it in the bag and suck the air out, the lack of air just really seems to inhibit any mold growth. Some people actually pour special waxes over the cheese to totally enwrap it in the wax and stop mold from developing. That's a lot of work and I'm just too lazy. So if you give me a minute, I'm just going to vacuum seal the cheese and we'll take a look at it. So that's the last of the cheese, all vacuum sealed and ready to go in the fridge and be aged. I'd say for at least 4 weeks, but if you're really desperate to give it a try, try them after 2 weeks. Sadly, obviously, I can't taste any of this cheese now because it's not aged. But the good news is I have a piece here of some cheese that I aged and smoked some time ago. So we can give a try of this cheese. It's just some nice marble cheddar. And we'll just take a slice off. And you'll note the nice color that goes into the cheese on the edges. And let's give it a taste. There is just something about what smoke does to a nice piece of cheddar. It's got the rich undertones of the smoke. In this particular case, I used some oak to smoke my cheese. Maple's a good choice. Apple's an excellent choice. Cherry's an excellent choice. I've even used strong smokes like hickories and got good results. Experiment and find the type of smoke you like to use, and you can have a great cheese like this. And the best part is, you can make it.
I have a good woman. I ain't good looking, but I do some cooking. I'm the old fat guy. So use that oven if you want some lovin'. Be like the old fat guy. Be like the old fat guy.